America is often described as the land of opportunity where dreams come true and people are encouraged to live the American dream. That dream, however, like any dream, can easily turn into a nightmare, and that is exactly what happened to a Sri Lankan-born American national. This nightmare, however, is not like any other, for it is continuing long after the dream ended. To get to the bottom of the story, I spoke to the mother of the Sri Lankan-born woman who went in search of a better tomorrow and ended up in a coffin fighting someone else's war. Solochana Lakshmini Herath, alias Lucky, was born several kilometers from Colombo in the busy town of Maharagama in 1964. After obtaining her primary education at Ladies College Colombo, Lucky travelled to the US for her higher education in 1986 with a bundle of hope and aspirations. I caught up with her mother Cynthia Herath during a brief visit to the island, and she recollected how her daughter, like everyone else, had the dire need to pursue her higher education in the US.
She was also interested in going to the United States for her higher studies. She got her first degree in 1990, and thereafter she got a second degree also.
In 1999, Lucky was enlisted as a soldier of the US Army.
American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger.
Lakshmini Herath was among the many soldiers who were deployed for duty in Iraq in 2003 in the war against terror. She returned home in 2005 February, diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. This changed her both mentally and physically, said Cynthia with tears in her eyes, and told me that her daughter finally died in 2010 after fighting the illness for 4 traumatic years.
We didn't know we were helpers, we didn't know what to do. The child is dying. But she always had a beautiful smile. She tells us, Appachi, massage my legs. The girl who ran 100 meters, 200 meters, the legs became 2 sticks. And physical instructors for the army couldn't move her legs. So we take turns and massage her legs. My husband will massage, then I will.
What was evident to me was the simple fact that even a year later, the memories are fresh and raw. Each harrowing moment seems trapped in Cynthia's dark eyes as she describes her daughter's long battle in the war front and outside.
And I strongly feel, I strongly believe that they did not do what they should have done at the right time. They did not diagnose at the right time. And we look up to America, the super country. Our doctors would have done a better job. I wish I never sent her there.
Combat mission in Iraq has ended. Operation Iraqi Freedom is over.
The war may have ended, but at what cost? Cynthia lost her daughter, and her daughter lost her mother. The war in Iraq claimed the lives of thousands, and Lucky was just one of them who was fighting someone else's war. Cynthia, who was compelled to leave Sri Lanka to look after her granddaughter Ceylon, Lucky's only child, now lives in the US fighting the system there, just as her daughter fought in the Iraqi desert to win the rights of her deceased daughter and now her granddaughter. It has been an uphill battle every step of the way. Arundhati Mudanayaka, News First. Taking a look at other local stories, an individual went missing after a fishing craft collided onto a reef in the Hungama Sea at dawn today.
The Chalran 3 multi-day fishing craft had left for sea from the Gaul area on the 2nd of this month. The craft with 6 fishermen on board had travelled towards the Hungama area last night from the seas of Putlam. However, the craft met with an accident in the seas of the Gurupokuna area in Hungama at around 1:30 this morning after colliding onto a reef. I heard a sound at around 3 this morning while I was asleep at the hotel. I heard screams and I heard the dog barking. I woke up and I came out with a torch. I saw someone outside who was not wearing any clothes near the beach. The fishing craft was brought ashore by the area residents of Kurupokuna. Suddenly, a strong wave hit us and the cabin of the craft came off. Another wave hit and my uncle, who is now missing, was thrown away to a distance of 150 to 200 meters. We held on to each other and swam in batches. My uncle was with us. I screamed for help, but there was nothing we could do. We lost our uncle. 5 fishermen who were aboard the ill-fated craft managed to save their lives, but L.V. Premasiri, who was the captain of the craft, disappeared. 53-year-old Premasiri was a resident of Alutkama.
Several schools initiated by the Christian missionaries who arrived in the island at the beginning of the 19th century are still in existence. Newstead Girls College in Negombo, which was founded in the year 1816, which celebrated its 195th anniversary recently is one of them. According to records, it is the oldest existing public school in Sri Lanka. Methodist missionaries founded the Wesleyan Methodist Sunday School in 1815 on a land that was purchased for $15, and Mohandiram L.E. Pereira was appointed as the first headmaster. The Sunday school was converted into a school with the appointment of the first resident minister of Negombo, Reverend Robert Newstead. In 1820, with the completion of the Wesleyan Church, a girls' school was proposed for the premises, and the official residence of Reverend Newstead, the mission house, was released to the school. In 1917, the first woman missionary principal, A.D. Dixon, was appointed to the school. The school, which dates back to many years, was the alma mater to several great personalities in the country. Sri Lanka's first woman vice-chancellor, Dr. Vimala De Silva, is one of them. The school has given birth to many intelligent and educated women for the past 195 years. The school will continue to produce important individuals for many years to come. A member of a team of wildlife officials who tried to save an elephant that had fallen into an unprotected well was killed after being attacked by the same elephant. The deceased individual was a driver attached to the Wilgamo Wildlife Office.
The elephant was found fallen into an unprotected well in the Katumanoe area in Matale last night. Wildlife officials of Wilgamo who arrived at the location this morning tried to pull out the elephant from the well with the assistance of the police. The elephant that managed to come out after part of the unprotected well was cut out started chasing away an individual. This individual, who functioned as a driver of the Wilgamo Wildlife Office, died in the elephant attack. It was only last Friday that the first surgery was performed at the surgical theatre at the Bibila Base Hospital, which was built following a foundation stone was laid to celebrate 10 years of presidency of the former president. On the 14th of March 2006, Action TV revealed that even though 1 year has lapsed since the foundation stone was laid for a 3-story building comprising a theatre and several treatment units at the hospital, not even a single brick was brought to the location to carry out the construction work. This hospital was upgraded into a B-grade base hospital 1 year after this revelation, while ignoring the due constructions of the building in question. A year later, the construction of this building commenced according to its original plan. Accordingly, 14 days prior to the 2010 general elections, this 3-story building was declared open by the president as a project of the Puvudumu Vellasa program. 97 days later, on the 22nd of July 2010, Action TV revealed that the opening that was held under the auspices of the president was a mere facade. The hospital, which was decorated with wards full of beds when the president arrived, was later left with only dirty mattresses and pillows, and the beds had disappeared. At the Vayama Puvuduwa Progress evaluation meeting held on the 11th of October 2010, the president said that the politicians in the Uva province and health authorities have deceived him by bringing in beds from other hospitals to this new hospital building in Bibila. The commencement of surgeries at the Bibila Base Hospital is indeed a great relief to the residents of Bibila and its suburbs. However, an anaesthetist is yet to be deployed to this hospital. Therefore, it was a surgeon who is the first surgeon to return to the island after completing his specialization studies abroad this year who has to fulfill the responsibilities of an anaesthetist.
The shortcomings that we were not aware of were brought to our notice by Action TV. As the Health Secretary of the Ua province, I would like to thank Action TV. I believe that they fulfilled their media responsibility by focusing attention on shortcomings, and with that we were able to reach our target.
It will be evident to patients and others who enter the hospital that much need to be done in order to add real value to this hospital that has a very proud outer appearance.